Good morning, everybody. It's 8 in the morning, and I am here to share a very inspiring story with you. This story is going to be the answer to the question to especially my clients who ask me how many sessions is it going to take for me to feel different and have a different life. And it's a beautiful answer for you. And while I share this story, before I do that, I want you to keep an analogy in mind. The analogy is that you're in a public place and there is a man that you see with his back towards you, and he's bent down low with his head low, and it seems like he's really sad. And being an empathic person, you feel bad for that. It sort of concerns you that why is this person feeling so sad? Now you're on the street on the other side of the place that you were in, and this man is facing you. And you notice that actually this man is having a sketch pad on his lap and is sketching a very beautiful picture of either a scenery or somebody. And you notice the change in perspective. It's a totally different perspective from what you actually thought was happening to the man. And in this inspiring story, which is a true story of my client, I want you to know that this client of mine who came and saw me for just one session, and before the one session, she came and spoke to me once. So we can even consider that as, let's say, 2 sessions. Not that I did a session with her the first time she met me, but she came and she shared her heart out of how her life is truly, her life is very difficult at this time. She's going through some very, very tough times. And she has very difficult people in her life to deal with, and she has no support for it. She's fighting that alone. And while I thought that it's going to take her a couple sessions for her to start feeling more independent, more in power of the situation, we did the one session where she came, she cried, she's feeling like, that person is wanting to blame the other person, which it's not a bad thing. I'm saying which we naturally do when when there are roadblocks, big boulders in front of us. We want to say like, you're in my way, right? You're in my way of making my life. You're making my life difficult, and it's true that other people sometimes can create major obstacles for us. So while she was feeling all of that, and she shared that, and we did some life coaching exercises to help her identify where her power is, what can she do with her life, what is her role in creating change in the other person, can she really do that? I did a very basic initial first session, and typically it takes a few sessions, like 5 to 10 sessions for clients to reach a change in perspective. And I also have clients who never reach that stage and they give up. And here I'm waiting for the second session, where I don't prepare for the session. I wait to see what does the client want to work on today. But my perception here for preparation was that we're still working towards the same goal. And she comes yesterday and she's like, you know what, Rima? And I'm completely inspired by what she had to share and how she created change for herself. She said, you know what, Rima? I am done blaming other people. I'm done blaming the difficult people in my life. I know they're the way they are. I can't do anything about it. I am going to take full control of whatever I can do in my life. I'm going to take care of my health. I'm going to work hard to get a great job and keep working towards it. I'm going to make sure that I create a beautiful life for my family, take care of my children, and do whatever is in my power. She came in with 100% positive attitude just after one session and made that 360-degree turn and saying, that's it. I know life is difficult right now, and I am going to do everything that I can to not necessarily change it, but to start moving towards a better direction. And it's the most inspiring story of a client I have ever known from all my clients. Because people ask me when they start sessions, how many sessions is it going to take? And I say it can be 3 sessions, it can be 3 months. It could be 13 to 14 sessions for you. I cannot define that for you. The choice really lies with you internally, of how quickly are you able to make that shift in perspective. And this person was able to do it in one session. It's so inspiring. It's inspiring for me to share that with you and keep that analogy of mine in mind that I told you about the man at the beginning of this video, and see what is one difficult situation in your life right now. What is the major difficulty that you're facing? And what is a 360-degree change in perspective that you can create for yourself to approach that problem, to start moving towards it? Because your perspective, the problem is never really the actual problem. Our attitude towards the problem and our perspective of that problem is actually always the problem. Because problems are going to be there, obstacles are going to be there in life, but how we approach them and deal with them is, now I'm not talking about denial here. So she didn't come in saying that, denial is a totally different thing. It's, you're not dealing with the problem. Denial is saying, you know what, I'll see, it'll go away, it'll be okay. That is denial. Denial is like you're passive, you're giving in. But taking charge and saying, I know there's a problem and there is a genuine problem, and that I need to make a shift in my perspective and start making changes and taking control wherever I can. It relates back to the previous video that I have made. If you haven't seen it, look at the video below. It's going to give you some coping strategies and tools to start dealing with the difficulties in your life. So some of you are my clients over here watching my videos, so this is a beautiful answer for you. Thank you to my client for sharing this inspiring story and making this wonderful change in your life. I'm so proud of her. I'm very, very proud. I'm a proud coach. Thank you. Bye-bye.